Hello and welcome to the fourth video in the series documenting Anglesey: A Bridge Through Time, the website, which is the creative artifact of my PhD project at Bangor University. In this video we are going to look at the real heart of the website, which are the key places pages. The website developed out of a need to drive more tourists' footfall to Anglesey's lesser known heritage sites. So writing about them was one of the key motivations for developing the website, trying to get more people to visit these key places. And a lot of the other website features are derived from creating a context for the stories of the key places. So if you click on key places, which you can do in the main navigation from any page on the website, you get to this alphabetical list. It currently contains 21 key places on the island of Anglesey. However, at launch, there were only 10. The researcher created those 10 according to a specific strategy, one of the key strategies for the website. Since launch, the new owners, the Anglesey County Council, have added 11 more for the total of 21. They do not conform, however, to the researcher's design intentions, and that's fully explained and explicated in the written portion of the thesis. For the videos, let me just demonstrate the ones that I did create. So we'll start here at Aberlliniog. These places pages demonstrate a key strategy of the website, as I said, and that is, in terms of methodology, it follows Fellman's interaction design research triangle, which we speak of in the methodology chapter. There's something called a loop, which connects design practice, which here is shown through the website, design studies, and I speak in the dissertation about critical heritage studies, and design exploration, which is when you are motivated by idealistic or social goals, such as the democratization of heritage. And that is one of the reasons why I've developed these places pages with the Your Host feature on it. The Your Host feature of each places page introduces the viewer to the page's co-curator, a local heritage enthusiast who provides a genuine local welcome, contributes ideas and content to that page, and stimulates conversation via the comments section at the bottom and moderates those comments ideally. That was what this feature was meant to do. So I created this multivocal heritage enthusiast team to help create the website, and many of them served as hosts for the pages. So here's a key places page, Aberlliniog, the ultimate hidden gem. And again, this demonstrates my person-centered approach to heritage, to show people engaging in a process of heritage at these heritage sites, to make them look active and interesting. And again, I took a consumer-centric approach. So I envisioned perhaps what a visitor in our target demographic might want out of visiting a heritage site, and I wrote a pitch related to that. So again, you can pause here if you want to read it in full. I'd like to demonstrate here the view visiting information box, which each one of the key places pages has. So it gives you direct information about how to get there, where to park, where the toilets are, etc. Again, you can see I strove to illustrate these pages with plenty of person-centered and action-oriented illustration. And the narrative itself focuses on individual people and the stories of the people who lived on Anglesey. So instead of writing about the site and what might have happened here, I tell the story of Anglesey people as related to the site. And here's the comments section. I discuss the comments in detail in written portions of the dissertation. These are also of interest, so these are sites that are nearby that one might want to visit the same day. These are related links that have information related, so the themes that are related to Aberlliniog. So it would be related both to the theme of the Princes of Gwynedd, the independent Welsh kings and Welsh princes, and also to the Anglo-Norman conquest. So you'd see links to both of them here, plus some other links. So that is Aberlliniog, the ultimate hidden gem. And again, if you'd like to read it in full, feel free to pause the video or to visit the website live online. Bartholomew, that's the next one of the 10 that the researcher wrote for the website. Hosted by an archaeologist who's retired from Bangor University, Frances Lynch, or Frances Llewellyn Lynch, she often went by that name. And these are sketches that she actually made professionally as a professional archaeologist and donated to the website, and they illustrate the art, the rock art that's inside this burial mound. And again, I think this is a fine example of the person-centered heritage narrative. So I try to make an emotional connection between potential modern-day visitors to this heritage site and their Neolithic ancestors who built this site. I would say that both sets of people, when standing on a place with this incredible wraparound views, would feel a sense of awe. So I used awe as an emotional hook to draw in contemporary readers and hopefully foment a sense of fascination with this site. So again, you can see that all through it is quite a long web page, but I tried to put illustrations all the way through and tell the story in an interesting way. So that is Bartholomew de Gowres. Let's go back to the homepage listing, and the next one of the 10 that were written by the researcher in this project, Beaumaris Castle Military Masterpiece. For this one, the local host is an actual retired military man, a member of the Royal Welsh Fusiliers, a colonel who lives in Beaumaris and likes to bring people on tours of the town, who is very involved in local heritage issues in Beaumaris. And what he wanted to write about was how the castle itself is a military masterpiece. It was the zenith of 13th century design and engineering. I think I said there that he wrote this essay. He didn't. He wrote a draft of it. This one here was actually written by me, the researcher involved in the site. Let's go back to the key places list. And now we're being slow to load for some reason. Let's see if the back arrow goes quicker. Good. And we'll go to Amlwch, Copper Kingdom. This seems to be out of alphabetical order here because it was originally Copper Kingdom. Here the host is one of the members of the Amlwch Industrial Heritage Trust. She's also a local secondary school teacher, and she's very interested in preserving this site and has been volunteering for this group for many, many years. So you can see all the illustrations and the comments section. We talk about comments in a different place in these videos. Now we're on the second page here. Dyn Lligwy. This is another interesting heritage site. Now, Dyn Lligwy, the host is Rhys Mewn, who is himself an archaeologist and a musician and a tour guide. This is one of his favorite places, and he actually wrote this essay called A Connection with My Ancestors. It's a sort of a personal reflection about when he visits this place, how he does feel connected to his Roman-era Welsh ancestors, people who may have lived here, which I liked. I thought it was a personal way of engaging people with the website, and very person-centered and person-oriented. It has a warmth to it. I edited what Rhys had written here, and I did the photo research. This one has 2 comments on it. And again, Rhys was one of my volunteers. He was supportive of the website throughout, came to a lot of meetings that we had planning it, and gave his opinions. Let's see, that's page 1. Page 2, have we gotten, oh, Dwynwen. So there's a beautiful beach on Anglesey right next to, it's next to Newborough Warren, which is a nature reserve. It's a very special place, and it was the site where this medieval legend, Dwynwen, had her retreat probably around the year 400 or 500. The host here is the Countryside Council for Wales's warden for the area, Graham Williams. And this piece directly tells the story of Dwynwen, which is a legend. We're not sure if it actually happened, but it's a very well-known Welsh legend. Again, well-known to people who live in Wales, especially North Wales, but again, not used as a heritage tourism resource to entice people outside of Wales to become interested in our heritage sites. So that was my motivation in writing the story this way. And I welcome you to read it in full. The next one is Llyn Bach, Lake Full of Treasures. The host for this site is Evelyn Owen Jones, who's actually the daughter of the man who discovered a world-class significant Iron Age hoard, a hoard of Iron Age artifacts at the bottom of this lake in Anglesey, which is a fascinating story. This man, William Owen Roberts, was a groundskeeper nearby during World War II when the Air Force wanted to expand their local base, and he helped them do it. And during the digging, they dug up hundreds of really very important Roman-era artifacts. 2,000-year-old slave chain he found. And the miraculous thing is that he recognized that its significance almost right away. And he supervised the men who dug up all these items. He cleaned them all, he brought them home, and he personally took them to the National Museum in Cardiff on the train, and he took care of these artifacts and made sure that they were a national treasure, which they turned out to be. This again is a really fascinating story, and I chose to tell it in a person-centered way, not centered on the artifacts themselves, but centered on what they meant to people in people's actual lives. So only a few more left. Thank you for your patience. Llys Rosir. I think this site is fascinating. The host here is Neil Johnston, who is the Heritage Officer at Mentor Mon, the Enterprise Anglesey for Anglesey Agency. He is also an archaeologist, and he is the archaeologist who discovered Llys Rosir. Llys Rosir is the only Welsh court, the court of a Welsh prince, that has been discovered anywhere in Wales. So it is a unique heritage site that is on Anglesey, and very few people know about it because the buildings no longer exist. There's piles of rocks there, which were, up until 15 years ago, buried under sand in a farm field. It again is a fascinating story that I urge you to read. Penrhyn is another interesting area of Anglesey. It was founded, well, legend has it that the area was founded by a medieval Welsh saint. There's a holy well on the site that probably was, it's now related to the saint. It's called St. Cyriel's Well, but it probably existed thousands of years before his time, and likely it was already a holy well when he came to it around the year 400. So there's a picture of St. Cyriel's Well. The host for this site is Neil Fairlam, who is the rector of 7 Church in Wales parishes around the area, and also this parish here. So he lives and works on this site, so he sees all the tourists who come and interacts with a lot of them. So he was a natural choice to be the host of this page on the website. There's another depiction of St. Cyriel there. So we try to tell his story and the story of the monks who founded the monastery there in St. Cyriel's name, the buildings that they built. They were also attacked by Vikings around the year 900. So it's a very interesting and complicated site. And again, this rector, Neil Fairlam, was on my team of 10 hosts and co-curators. And he was one of the people that I trained to use the website and to use Discus, the software that runs the comment sections at the bottom of each of these pages. There is, I think, one more site that I, the researcher, created before the launch, and that's called 2 Bridges That Changed Everything. This page is about the 2 bridges, the Menai Bridge and the other bridge that were both built during the industrial era and our important industrial heritage sites. The host here is Bob Damon, who is a retired chartered civil engineer and one of the leaders of the Menai Bridge Community Heritage Trust. So again, one of the leaders of the local community group that works to preserve these bridges and interpret them for all our visitors. This is the story of the Menai Suspension Bridge with some beautiful old artistic interpretations of it, and then the Britannia Tubular Railroad Bridge built by Robert Stevenson, also a landmark in industrial history, and the comments there. So that completes our look at the key places pages that the researcher created and built for Anglesey, A Bridge Through Time website. Thank you for your attention.